Greetings, everyone. This is author Jacqueline Clark Hodge, and this is a sneak peek of Being on the Planet 2, Testimonials of True Events. This is Testimonial 11. The CIGAR-SHAPED UFO, testimonial given by Jacqueline Clark Hodge. My name is Jacqueline Clark Hodge. Back in September of 1995, my children's father, Perry, and I were living at our first apartment on Caldwell Street in Flint, Michigan. We didn't have any children yet, though. I was 18 and he was 22 years old. We were a fresh young couple who had only been together for about 4 months, and we had only been living in our apartment for a little over a month. We would always play video games together at our apartment, and on this particular day, we had been playing all day long as we usually did. Around 8 p.m., we stopped playing the video game and started debating on what we should eat for dinner. Perry asked me, "Do you want to go get some pizza?" I said, "Yeah, let me get my jacket." Then I got my jacket and headed to the door to leave. But before I could get out of the doorway, I became extremely tired. It was so weird because I wasn't even sleepy until I touched the door. All of a sudden, I got so exhausted, I couldn't leave the doorway. Perry asked me if I was okay. I told him that I needed to rest because I could barely stand up. Then I looked at the clock. After that, I collapsed and immediately fell asleep on the couch. As I was sleeping, I dreamed that Perry and I were standing in the sky. It was daylight in the dream, and the clouds were fluffy and white, and the sky was very blue. In the dream, we were watching 2 UFOs cross each other in the clouds. One craft had a red light above it, and the other had a blue light above it. Both of them were metallic and shining through the clouds. Throughout this dream, we were just standing there in the sky and watching the craft slowly cross each other. Once the UFOs in my dream crossed each other, I tried to turn around so that I could see what was behind us. I could barely turn around because it was one of those dreams that forced me to look only forward. I struggled to turn around, and eventually I did get a glimpse of what was behind us. It was a huge mansion that reminded me of the Emerald City in the Wizard of Oz movie. Then, I immediately woke up from my sleep. When I awoke, I couldn't believe that I had a full-blown dream that fast. The first thing that I did was look at the clock. After looking at the clock, I realized that only 1 minute had passed, but I felt refreshed, as if I had slept all night. Perry kept asking me if I was okay. He was concerned because of the way that I just fell out. I explained to him that I was okay, and then I told him what I had just dreamed about. After I shared my dream with Perry, he said, "Wow, for real?" He had become so intrigued with UFOs, especially after I told him all about my family's 1984 encounter. Ever since we had known each other, we were having a conversation about UFOs once a week. It wasn't an odd conversation for us to have. Anyhow, after I told him about my dream, he kept saying that he wished that he could see a UFO. After we talked about it for a while, Perry handed me my jacket and we left out of the door. By that time, it was just about to get dark outside. We walked over to Perry's mother's house because we didn't have a car. It may have taken us about 20 minutes to walk there. She lived a couple of blocks away on Patterson Street. When we got there, Perry ordered the pizza on his mother's landline phone because we didn't have a cell phone. I wish we had a cell phone to capture footage of what we were about to see. Unfortunately, we didn't have one. Perry ordered the pizza and we went and sat on his mother's porch and started talking. While we were conversing, I looked up and I saw two blinking lights going towards each other in the night sky. At that time, it was completely dark outside. It was probably around 8:50 p.m. That's when I said to Perry, "Hey, isn't it illegal for planes to cross each other?" Then I said, "If those two lights cross each other, that's going to be similar to what I just dreamed." I said that to him because I had just dreamed that we were watching two crabs crossing in the sky. After I said that to him, the both of us were focused on the night sky, and we didn't take our eyes off of those two lights. Suddenly, there was this loud sound coming from behind us. It sounded like a waterfall. So we both turned around to see what that loud sound was. When we turned around, a humongous UFO appeared. It was coming from behind Perry's mother's house and heading towards us while we sat on the front porch. The UFO was cigar-shaped. It was metallic and it was gigantic. No exaggerating. From the angle that I saw it from, it looked like a smooth surface oblong shaped crab. And it literally looked like the size of a stadium in the sky. It was so humongous until I couldn't talk. I was so shocked, I didn't say a word. But Perry was hollering, saying, "Jacqueline, you're psychic. You're fucking psychic." The humongous craft was glowing a whitish bluish color, kind of like a metallic blue. The weird part was it didn't have any lights on it at all. It was like the metal glowed in the dark, and it was hovering very low. It seemed to be hovering just above the electrical power lines. It had something on top of it too, but I can't seem to remember what it was. After the UFO made this loud waterfall noise, the craft didn't make any more sounds. It became completely quiet and just hovered smoothly across the sky. As it traveled, I just looked up at it. I don't remember seeing any windows or doors, and I definitely don't remember seeing any aliens. As I watched it fly, I was thinking that the UFO was heading to Detroit, Michigan. Maybe I thought that because it was heading south. Actually, it was flying right in the middle of the hood, going southeast on Patterson Street, between Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue and Mason Street here in Flint, Michigan. While all this was happening, I just couldn't talk. I was just too shocked and too busy observing my surroundings. But Perry was so loud and so excited about being a witness to a UFO. He said that he wanted to see one, and he got what he wanted. He was just yelling hysterically while we looked up at the sky. Amazingly, after watching the UFO fly for about 10 seconds, it was gone. It disappeared so fast. Perry and I ran to the next street over to see if it was still there, but it was completely gone. I wondered how something that huge could just disappear so fast. After we noticed that the UFO wasn't coming back, we walked back to Perry's mother's house. When we got there, Perry asked his mom if she saw it. She said that she didn't see anything. I was surprised that no one else in the house saw the UFO. Perry's mom and his youngest sister said that they heard Perry outside wailing about it though. I don't know if any of her neighbors saw it or not, but I'm sure her neighbors may have heard Perry yelling. The pizza delivery man arrived about a minute later, so Perry and I asked him if he saw the UFO too. He just gave us our pizza and zoomed away in his car. He probably thought that we were on drugs or just crazy. Truthfully, Perry may have smoked a joint of marijuana, but I don't do drugs at all. I was completely sober when I saw it. Because of the pizza man's reaction, I think that he was just like the majority of other people who believe that you're crazy when you tell them that you've seen a UFO. The subject has a crazy stigma to it. But What's even crazier is not believing in UFOs when people all over the world are witnessing them. Isn't that called denial? Most people will deny anything that makes them uncomfortable and question their reality. Most people just don't want to believe unless they see it themselves. I admit, I'm also that kind of person. I'm skeptical about a lot of things. If I didn't see the UFO for myself, I wouldn't have believed it, but I did see it. That massive UFO came to the hood, and it left me beyond astonished. It was an amazing sight to see. It was something I'll never forget. I don't think that it's a coincidence that I dreamed about a UFO and then actually got to see one in real life. I believe that was part of God's plan for me to see it. I also believe that whoever was flying in that UFO is somehow connected to my family. So many people in my family have witnessed UFOs. It's like they are following us. Maybe they are tracking us because we are a unique breed of black people. Or maybe they are just watching over the original people of the planet. I know that my family, along with other black people all over the world, are more important to this universe than we even know. We are so special that whoever is flying those crafts are interested in us. I believe that they want to know more about black people because we are indigenous to the planet and we are the children of the heavens and the earth. This is Jacqueline Clark Hodge. I want to give a very special thank you to all of my family members who have participated in this testimonial book. To my mother, Rose X. Clark Morris, my cousin, Casanova Bowers, my cousin, April Clark, my aunt, Felisa Hodge, my brother, Aaron Hodge, my brother, Phil Hodge, my uncle, Luke Clark, my uncle, Robert Clark, my cousin, Camille Jackson, and my children's father, Terry Alexander. Thank you all for sharing your amazing stories with me and the world. All of you have been very supportive of this project. I appreciate all of you for your time that you took to do interviews with me. Thank you for your testimonials. I love you all very much. Here is the table of contents, and there is so much in this book. I want y'all to go out and support your girl. This is author Jacqueline Clark Hodge. Peace.